just wasn't like all there for me as I rewatch it now, right? So anyway, so this is just it's a late initial reaction, obviously, or impression from the season, and these are reactions or impressions based on me rewatching the show from the beginning, from like the pause, where they're walking down the hallway before they go inside. Like, I don't even know, are they assigned doors? Like the numbers? Like each contestant, are they? I can't remember if they're actually assigned a specific door to go to. Like, say for example, you're assigned door number one, and the person who wants to meet with you would have to remember, oh, you're assigned to door number one, or door number 10, or door number whatever, however many contestants there are. So, again, the reactions, the opinions are based on what I've witnessed from the show, rewatching it. Of course, you have to keep in mind the content is edited for brevity and time, the show's content, and maybe also um, to kind of lead the audience, the viewers, into like following the seeds, if I may, seeds planted for like specific narratives, which may or may not lead to defining the season's hero or anti-hero, or the victim or villain, etc. You gotta keep in mind there's conversation, the side, as they call it, side conversations that don't make it on screen, right? That like adds a wider context to what you see on the screen, like a pretext to the conversations before the edited part that we are watching on the screen is uploaded and available for all of us to see and digest and pick apart and form reaction videos to. Anywho, ouch, ouch, ouch. I have to say though, somehow through all of the seasons of Love Is Blind, we're now in season 4, there does appear to always be some kind of negative force, aka villain or villains, plural, in each of the seasons. So let's dive into the triangle that is Marshall, Jackie, and Josh. So, of the three, when I rewatched the show, I noticed about Jackie. In the beginning, she mentions that she felt like at the she was at a confessional. She felt like a kid in a candy store, having many options, many choices, and referring to potentially the pods and maybe the number of dates or the men available or what have you. You know, referring to being there, right? Like the actual show, the experience. Because I mean, now we're in season 4. It's not like you're walking in there at season 1 not knowing what to expect. Obviously, season 4, you know exactly what to expect. I mean, the premise is the same, except obviously the contestants. Let's see. So, having said that, I I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. That after she said that she felt like a kid in the candy store, that she was just excited, as with all the other contestants would have been excited. And of course, I'm under the impression that everybody, hopefully, hopefully, I know, let's leave a margin there, are in the experience to find lasting love sight unseen. I want to add though, the whole candy shop metaphor. to me it just means like you're walking in to the experience, eyes wide open, intent on walking out with more than one selection. Because even I, who don't like sweets, have walked into a candy store and have like walked out with varieties of candy. Varieties. Not just one candy, varieties. I'm just saying. So, like, that metaphor just kind of made me side eye her. And of course, knowing what we know now, because, the season's over and, like, I've watched the whole thing, we already know how that panned out. And anyway, on to Marshall. So, with Marshall, he wasn't like a standout where you generally have, when you're watching the show, you generally have like your standout people, right? Like the contestants that would be like literally standing, like not standing, but like would be piquing your interest. Like, this is somebody to watch out for, or something to that effect. But he was kind of just coasting under like the radar for me. He was there, you're aware of him, he's very in touch with his emotions, which is great, but wasn't something like like he didn't have that kind of camera presence in the beginning. He was like a slow burn. um I have to say though, when he had that conversation with Jackie in the pods during one of their dates, where he shared with her the trauma that he had experienced in his past, I felt empathy for him. And I'm hoping, I still hope, that he has processed through his trauma, the feelings towards the same, hopefully successfully worked through the trauma or traumas, and hopefully he's able to recognize potential triggers and the response that he would have to this, and hopefully I'm hoping that he really does not carry this this horrible experience with him into his future relationships. you know um, it's a lose-lose situation if that were the case for him and his future future love, future somebody. Anyway, so now let's go to Josh. OMG, OMG. Like this guy. So I'm like, huh, interesting. I was like, ooh, this one is going to be trouble. What kind of trouble? I'm not sure yet. Of course, we already know the kind of trouble, but we're rewatching it from the beginning. So, but someone who is potentially going to rock the boat for some people, and boy, did he ever! As we now know, I mean, it's harder to make this impression video slash reaction video when you have watched the whole entire season and you're doing a reaction video from the very beginning. I know, sorry. So anyway, the back again to Josh. It was the statement he made about loving the game, or I love the game, with that posture like, the super confident, like, yeah, I got this posture in one of his confessionals. That really, really solidified for me his like incredible confidence in himself, in his ability to win in this competition, which he talks extensively about his sports, history, how he plays sports, or maybe still continues to, and how he loves to win. So I was like, wait a minute, didn't I hear somebody else allude to something similar? Like they like winning, they like the sport or the competition or something. Oh wait, that's right. I believe that was Jackie. I felt like rewatching this. Josh was Jackie's contemporary. Like they're like two peas in a pot, right? But at the same time, I also felt like if they were to get together, are they going to implode? Because they both seem to me like alphas. I mean, sometimes, I mean, okay, fine. So it works, and if you were like Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez in Fast and the Furious movies, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Um, and then I also felt like, so was Josh really in the show because he viewed the show, as another competition to win, and not what it was originally designed for, which is, again, to find lasting love sight unseen. I'm leaning more towards the whole competition thing because Josh just exudes this, I have to win this competition. Like, I have to win it. Like, nobody else can win it. Like, I have to win it. And then also in the episode where, like, Jackie was letting him, what do you call this? Let me see. Let me see. Where are my notes? Honestly. Oh, okay. Sorry. We go now to. We, is it fast forwarding? No. Well, sort of. We're skipping on over to the episode where Jackie was letting Marshall know that she has another potential interest. I don't know if it's like a love interest, but she's, she's alluding to really liking this guy, um, being really interested in this person. And Marshall in that episode appearing to listen intently to what Jackie was saying, and also was it appeared like he was internalizing what she was saying, and also remaining in control of his feelings and how he was going to express his feelings towards her to try to maybe convince her that he should be the one, he should be the person that she picks, that he and she are the team, or the couple that should be. I thought that was brave of him to do, because a lot of times when we hear news like that, when it's like we have an interest in someone romantically, just remove the whole sight unseen part. But anybody who hears that from their potential love romantic interest, it hurts, and it's like an automatic human thing to lash out, to like express ourselves without control of our emotions. So it's just like we just blurt out. We just like have diarrhea of the mouth. Of course, a lot of times it gets us in trouble, if not all the time, when we do that, when we let our emotions overtake us and our actions obviously follow suit. I thought again that was a very mature of Marshall in the scene to have allowed Jackie to express herself as honestly as she could have in that moment, and for him to listen, to acknowledge her feelings while also expressing to her his feelings. Um, so it was like he wasn't negating her feelings to validate his feelings. He was accepting that there were two divergent feelings potentially, um, that he would have had to process, his and hers, obviously. So then we cut to when Marshall was actually done with that date with Jackie, and he returns to the, what is it called, the men's lounge, the men's area, and was visibly upset that someone else may have potentially been talking to Jackie and giving her at least at least signals that, this potential somebody else may be reciprocating her feelings, and they may also feel the same way towards her, or may have some feelings towards her that's probably not as deep, but still, the whole point is now there's somebody else in the mix that could potentially be a rival, right, to Marshall, and stand in the way of him and his true love. Um, Marshall being visibly upset in that scene was giving me night and day vibes. Like, was it this testosterone? Because now he was in the company of, like, the men, and not not having to compose himself, not having to really think about how to express himself and how to gauge his words so as not to make her feel invalidated, or her feelings at least, or at least make her feel like she shouldn't consider his feelings. Um, it was interesting. It was interesting. I feel like in that particular thing, I feel like both he, Marshall, and Josh had, as well as the other guys, had had the same opportunities being on the show to find connections, and maybe even have like multiple connections with people, and hopefully they can like hone it down to one person, because honestly you can't be engaged to like five different girls or five different guys. I don't think that would work out very well. But there is such thing as polyamory, so, but I digress. um I felt like it was it was maybe like something where Marshall might have felt like, oh, um, maybe the guy, this particular person should have been a little bit more honest about like their feelings, and um, something similar towards Jackie, because maybe Marshall would have expressed his interest in Jackie with the group to kind of like mark his territory, so to speak. But then, maybe this particular person wasn't actually speaking up in that way to say, one way or another, I'm actually interested in the same lady as you are, or maybe even like lying about being interested in her, but actually, like when they're in the pods together, this person is interested in Jackie as well. So, um, so that was probably like the closest that we would see Marshall get angry the rest of the season, because he again appeared to have mastery control of his emotions and his reactions for the most part. But you know, there's another episode later on where he lost his cool. So with Josh though in this thing, um, I in his other confessional, Josh does say that he was intentional, that he intended not to share his connections with the other guys in the lounge for his own personal reasons. Like, was it because maybe he wanted to be more certain about his feelings before sharing this information with the other guys? He just doesn't want to be like, obviously, he probably is already seen as the player in the group, and maybe a little bit more boisterous than the rest of the guys would prefer, or something about his personality they just don't dig. I don't know. But he also, again, maybe was looking at the dates like a game, as he restates in more than one confessional, that he loves the game, he loves to win, he loves the competition. So again, these statements, they don't really help ease the viewer's mind that Josh isn't here with his play attitude. Like, I'm gonna get that one, I'm gonna get with that one, I'm gonna get with that one, I'm gonna get with that one. It's like, hello, okay, I get it. You get to go on dates with multiple people, but it's not at the same exact time. I mean, it's not like a panel interview or something. Jeez, that's. But remember, these impressions are based on what I have seen play out on the screen, pun intended, and what you have seen on the screen also if you have watched the entire season. Just saying. So, let us move on to the reveal. So, I thought the reveal after Marshall and Jackie got engaged, I thought it was cute. They were goofy. They look like longtime friends. Like they look at ease with each other, even though they're just meeting each other for the first time, after having been engaged or whatever. I felt like there was camaraderie between them. There was no walls between them. I mean, they shared a kiss, and they did a little dance. I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute. There was certainly no inclination of rough waters ahead. You know, like ooh, it, or it could have been simply because it was like, oh, you're caught up in the moment. You're caught up in the excitement. So it's like you're in this vacuum where, I'm finally out of the pods. I can finally like stretch my legs or something. I mean, I actually don't know after they get engaged and then they do the reveal how much longer they have to stay in the pods, or do they have to wait for the other people to get engaged? So there could be more than at least one person getting engaged, right? From what I can remember from the past seasons, I don't think there have been any less than 3 or 4 couples to have gotten engaged. Of course, I'm sure there's like other couples who like got engaged but didn't really um, get selected for camera time. I don't know. I'm not part of the production. So he would not know the answer to that. But I mean, come think of it, I would hope that there would be more than at least like 3 or 4 people getting engaged. Because, honey, the premise is to get them all engaged. But I'm just saying. Just saying. Just saying. So back to Jackie and Marshall being goofy. I really was thinking they were so cute together. I mean, wishful thinking on my part, right? And remember, I'm rewatching this after having completed the whole season, including the reunion, so we already know what happened there. But I was just like, there must have been like something that like really, that was really ouch, ouch, ouch. You guys, I have an eyelash stuck in my eyeball. Hang on. Sorry. Don't you hate that when you get like an eyelash stuck in your eyeball and you can feel it and it's just like, oi, why are you not coming out? And like, I don't know if there was one specific moment where it went downhill, like the landslide just like broke off for Marshall and Jackie. But we will definitely, definitely delve into that in another episode. This one is just, again, the triangle of Marshall, Jackie, and Josh from the pods to the reveal. So we will delve more into post reveal, which would be the Mexico honeymoon and so forth. So the honeymoon, and then like when they move in together, that, yes, yes. What can I say? They're the infamous three, right? Although, now that I think about it, Bliss, Zach, and Irina were kind of infamous too in their own rights. But you know what? That's another. It's another commentary, impression, reaction video for another time. So there's gonna be a lot of these rewatching the season. Yes. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening. You can always drop your comments. Comments are open. Just please do not, well, don't bash me, okay? I'm not famous. Only famous people get bashed. At least they are. Or at least that's my train of thought. It's like if you're famous, then you get bashed or something. Me, totally not famous. Absolutely not. Anyway, darlings, I love, love, love that you guys have subscribed, even though I keep forgetting to even say that. Like, subscribe to the channel. I think other YouTubers always say that, like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to something. You guys, I am grateful enough that you're actually even paying attention to my videos where I can vent, I can share my thoughts, I can do a little bit of gaming here and there. I am just grateful for it. I know that you're busy. I know that you have like a gigaton of other videos that you could potentially even like give 5 minutes of your time to, but you giving me some of that time, totally grateful. Totally. Darlings. So we shall move on to the triangle of Marshall, Jackie, and Josh, the honeymoon, and the moving into the apartments. in another video. Again, don't forget to please be kind to yourselves. Do something that makes you happy, makes your heart happy. And don't forget to journey in gratitude. Because why shouldn't we, right? Grateful for every little thing that makes you who you are, makes me who I am. And I'm grateful that you again have spent some time to listen to me and my ranting on here. Like the wallpaper says, throw glitter in today's face. Because you are Little Miss Fabulous, or Little Mr. Fabulous, or Little Fabulous Yo. Period. Okay. Alright. I shall see you again either tomorrow or sometime this week. Sarsci is signing out for now. Toodaloo. Ciao, darling.